Good morning, good evening, good day, good Hearthstone. It's another episode today of the Stone Whisperers Hearthstone Arena Runs. Now, last time we were left with this deck. Hopefully, we'll get more than 2 wins this time round. I'll also try and be a bit more careful about my explanations regarding what I'm doing and what I'm facing. So, let's just go ahead and click that play button and let's see what we get. Now, you're a warrior, so hopefully we'll get something interesting to face. Let's have a look. It's going to be Adun Rin, a priest. So let's see here. Now, I only want to keep 2 or less, maybe even a 3, so I'll remove those 2. I don't want to take a risk of replacing the 2 for a 3 or a 4, so I'll stick to keeping the Wild Pyromancer there. He's mainly just a 3-2 body there, so even if I've got no abilities, that should help. So let's see what else we get. Yeah, so I think that worked out okay for me there. Oh, brilliant. That's a Fairy Dragon. So that'll do very, very well for us, as he won't be able to target it. Now, there was nothing there I could play, so I'll just jump in and move straight on. So, I'd rather keep the Fairy Dragon available next turn to play. So what I'll do is I'll play the Wild Pyromancer. He might trade it against, and he gains a 1 mana advantage in effect, but I don't have much choice in the matter, because if I delay it, placing anything else down, then I'm not going to get any semblance of board control. So I've played the Pyromancer. I'll see what he plays next. I get a feeling he'll just go and bash. Yep. Is he going to just destroy it? Or is he thinking about it? If he doesn't have anything to play, he should just go straight for me. And there we go. So I'm quite happy with that. What'll happen next is I'll now play Fairy Dragon as well, so once more he has to either counter it or move on from there, because if he doesn't have anything to play here... Oh, that's a good card for him to play. Now, what I do is I've got a choice. I would ideally like to get ahead of the curve, so not ahead of the curve rather, but I would ideally like to get in front of him. Unfortunately, it keeps on playing minions, so I could trade off the Fairy Dragons, kill them both. I could then charge the Corcoran Elite into the Dark Cultist, as that does have a nasty death rattle ability. Yeah, I think that's going to be our best option, so I'll trade that off straight away. I'll play with Corcoran Elite, and that way we both go back to an empty board, and he loses that buff from it, so He does have the advantage, so he does have the tempo in his favour. All I can do is hope that he doesn't have anything big. That's okay, I'm fine with that. So let's have a think about this. What's going to be our best option? Healing myself up. And armouring up. Or playing the weaponsmith and getting a weapon. Next turn I can kill that. So let's just play this. So I heal up. I'll gain some armour. Next turn I can play the Urgent Commander if he does trade directly. Either way, that should give me a good option, because now he has to only play small minions, or not as the case might be. So let's think. If I attack, that trades that off. That had to get done. Can then play equip a weapon, armour up, and I'll just attack his face. Now, let's see what he plays. Now, doing that to try and get some presence on the board here. That minion, while big, is slowing him down. That's okay. So what happens next turn is I can now play the Urgent Commander. I'll take that down, and I'll just attack his face. That's giving me the board control at the moment. However, I'm not entirely sure how long that will last for. Let's see what he does here. Right. So that's not ideal. Let's have a think about this. So I have 8 mana. I could put down the Frost Elemental. And freeze him, or I could play the Taskmaster. So I think I have to play the Taskmaster. Allows me kills that. Freeze that off. And then return there. So next turn I can play the Storming Champion. Nice little combo he played there. Ooh, very nice. Well done to him. So, I've got 9, so I think I'll armour up. I'll play a war golem and see how he handles that. I'm playing war golem to get a large body on the board, and the following turn I can play the Storming Champion and the Berserker. The Storming Champion gives them +1s. Ah, nice. So he's just playing a big bodied minion there, in hope that he'll be able to take something out. So, ooh, can I play this correctly? Yeah, so I'll play the, excuse me 1 minute, I'll play the Storming Champion there and trade him off. Now, I made a mistake there, as I should have played with Frothing Berserker. However, I will then just play off the Warsong Commander instead, because I should have played him to get the benefit of the damage. That's fine, I can quite happily take that. He traded up 2 minions for a cost of 1, so I'm quite happy with that. Let's see. Now, if I play this, it gives me a weapon. I can also play this, and now all 3 of them able to attack. So I can armor here, attack to kill that off. I can remove that. Here we go. I can then remove her, and all of a sudden we're equaling this up. So I have lethal next turn, as I can do 1, 2. Ooh, has he got anything you can do here? Nope, it's game over for him, as I can do 16 damage. Brilliant. That one went quite well. Better than expected, in fact. Now, this is just a spare account I'm using for this, so naturally none of my heroes have much power there, so I was focused there on trying to get control of the board, as I was starting to run a little bit slow, but able to sustain a bit of damage there, and thankfully I got lucky enough that I was able to take control of that board. It's to be fair, that really was just more luck of a draw at points. So we'll play another one quickly, and then we can kind of see what we have. If you can hear any crackling noises in the background, I do apologise, it's just a bottle of water. So, what kind of card, or what kind of opponent will we have? So, we've got Malfurion Stormrage with Druid. Now, I'm going to keep the Fairy Dragon, as that's under 3 mana, and I'll remove Arcanite and the Frost Elemental. And we'll see what else I draw up. So, quite like those cards. Yeah, Azure Drake is there. So what I'll play next turn is the Fairy Dragon, and that gives me a minion on the board. This is going to be painful. I think this will be a Yeti. Yep. That's quite alright, I don't mind that at all. Because if I play my Fairy Dragon, in theory he should... Is he going to go for my face? Yep. That doesn't make any sense why he did that. But still, I'm not going to complain. So attack. And remove that off. So next turn I've got 4 mana, so as I say, that took a bit of a hurt unfortunately, but that's the breaks sometimes. So I'm not sure whether to attack and equip the weapon. Yeah, I think I've got to attack the Kobold. That removes that off the board. And then if I play the Weaponsmith, that gives me board presence again. And next turn I've got 5 mana, and that gives me a couple of options there. So I will play, because I have 5 mana. Oh, 3, 4, 5. I can kill it, but if he's got some AoE, then I'm a little bit skippered. However, he could have Mark of a Wild, which makes it even bigger and even stronger. So I think the right move to make is to try and remove it for now. And I'll just have to hope that that lasts me a turn or so, because next turn, what's he want to do here? Next turn I've got 6 mana. Why is he doing that? That didn't make any sense because he just traded that away. So I can attack this, remove that as well now, and I've got 6 mana. Nothing really I can use, so I'll just pop the Drake, and that gives me a big body on the board. It also gives me card advantage, and while he's got my Exa. So actually I might not do this. So if I deal 1 damage there, I can then execute and kill. And there we go. Summon a new weapon. And I have board control again. So the most important is get rid of those minions. He did make a misplay earlier, as he should have killed the 4-1. That's okay. treasure though. That's fantastic. So 6. I want to keep. So I'll summon a war golem. And I'll put him down to 12. And now he's got a choice, so if I get lucky, I've got lethal next turn. Is he just armoring up and going to attack me for 1? Yep. So brilliant. That's given me the win now. So I've got 3 damage there, 7 damage there for 10, and Arcanite Reaper. So that was a bit lucky that I got those draws. Otherwise, if that had just been a useless card, I would have played either the Sludge Belcher, actually probably would have done the Frost Elemental, frozen the Drake, and then playing the Torn Warrior. As it is though, I can go straight for his face, cast a weapon, and hit him. There we go. Brilliant. So, 2 wins out of 2 so far. Definitely doing better than we did last time, that's for certain. So, we're now on to game 3, but we'll leave it there for now, and we can come back and see how I do later on. So, that was game 1 and 2 of my second Hearthstone attempt, and certainly the deck feels a lot better than that Paladin one I did run before. So hopefully it's been a fun little game there for 2 for you, and in the meantime guys and girls, hopefully you've enjoyed this. Take care everybody, thanks very much for watching, feel free to share, comment, like, do all that other nonsense, but more importantly, please all, take care of yourselves and have a great day. Bye bye.